Welcome to Hobby Sound. My name is Corey, Ableton certified trainer, and this is a sampler. So in the previous video, we went over the sampler module in the Zoia Euro Bureau and used it kind of just to trigger drum samples and trigger, full loops. But in this video, we're going to be diving into actually using it to record samples into and build essentially what I'm kind of envisioning as a SK-1 style sampler, where you just press a button, record in, and then can instantly play it back on the keyboard. And I find that this is probably, the thing that a lot of people like about the SK-1 is that it's just immediate, it's lo-fi, also fairly cheap. Instead of gearing up with some more gas to buy more shit that I don't need, let's build it on the Zoia. So we're gonna go to a blank patch here. And one thing to note is that since we're using the pedal, we have these 3 stomp switches here. And if we hold the scroll and bypass together for more than 3 seconds, our shift button turns blue. And that means that now these we can assign to whatever we want. Let's set this up by going to the second page here, which is actually page 1 because we start at 0. And right here, I'm going to do interface modules, audio input, and I'm just going to do mono for this. So we're going to set that to left. And then right here, you can set these wherever you want, but I just find this to be the place for me. Need that gain control so we control the level on the output. And just left, again, we're just doing mono for this. Cool. And then we're going to need a VCA. So if we go to audio modules, should be the second one down. We got a VCA, ba-bam. And then I will also go into audio modules, and this is kind of the lo-fi bit of it. If we go to bit crusher, and gotta be honest, I don't know what the fractions is, but I've been turning it on. So cool. And then we are going to take that audio input, run it into the bit crusher. That bit crusher is going to go into the VCA. And then we'll also do this VCA to our output. And if we turn that VCA up, we should be able to hear this mic. Then if we go to the bit crusher, we can turn that down and you start to get real nasty. So another thing too, in terms of the setup here, we're using the Arturia key step. You can use any keyboard that has a Midi out and that the Midi channel of. So we have the Arturia key step that's going Midi out, and then that's going into the Midi in on the back of the Zoia. Then I have this expression pedal here that's going into the CV in or expression pedal in on the Zoia. I did misspeak in the last video that I said that there wasn't any CV in. There is, it's just one thing, and like I mentioned, I've only been using that basically for an expression pedal. But it is there, so it opens up some pretty fun things. So if I click right here, and then go to interface modules, and then scroll down to that C port expression, CVN, do done, and then you can see, ba-bam. And we want that to be assigned to this VCA here. You can see it opens the VCA, but it only opens it halfway. So what we're going to do is if we click on that expression pedal module and then click on the VCA, it shows that we have it, assigned to it 100%, but we can go past 100% just to the max. Then now if we click on this is all the way down, and then that's all the way up. So we have, well, let's add one more thing. Well, actually, we're going to add that on the other side. So this is kind of the stuff that we don't need to see, but we need it to be there, to be able to work. So if we go over to our first page, which is page 0, click right here, go to audio modules and scroll all the way down to sampler. And then I'll turn the record on. And then for playback, we're going to set that to loop. That's all good. And then now we need to take basically the output of that VCA and run that into the left channel in. And then I believe right here, that's our left channel out. So we're going to run that to our main output. And that's the thing about the sampler, is that when you're running audio into it, it doesn't just pass through. It's basically waiting to be recorded. And then once you basically trigger that sample, you're able to hear what you recorded, but you're not able to directly monitor it. And that's why we've connected this main VCA that has the input going into this bit crusher and then going into that VCA. That VCA is connected not only to the sampler over on the other page, but it's also connected to the direct output so that we can hear it. And so the idea is that we have this expression pedal to be able to bring up in case we want to actually hear, our vocals going in. But if we don't want to hear it, we just turn it down. One thing too, if we go to the speed or the pitch, I'll switch that to semitones just by tapping the little scroll button. Then I'm going to set this to -24 just to give us a little bit more range and make it kind of act more like a regular keyboard sampler would. So now that we have that, we have our connections in terms of the input going into the sampler and the output from the sampler. What we can do is just copy and paste these. And that's kind of why we set up all the stuff on the other page first and then connect kind of the main things. Because then we could just basically duplicate these. And the only thing we need to do then is just change the color of these to make it a little bit easier for us. So we'll do that, copy, paste, ba-bam, ba-bam. Yeah, that's good. So next thing right here, I think, we're gonna go to interface modules and we'll go to stomp switch. And then we're gonna set that to the right stomp switch. So that's this one. And we're gonna leave it on momentary. You have a few options here, momentary and latching. So latching means that when you press it, it's going to be on. And then when you press it again, it's going to be off. This would actually be really useful for turning on and off the reverse of the sample. If you watched the last video, I kind of had trouble with the reverse because I was just chugging a gate into it, and a gate just goes on and off very quickly, and so it didn't work out that well. So we'll leave it on momentary. So then when we press, it's just going to go shit. What we should have done is actually added this before we started to copy the samplers, because now we're going to have to go through and individually attach this. So the record is the third one in, and that's where color coding is very helpful. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the record. So I'm going to attach that to this little guy here. We can see it's recording and then it stops recording. So again, because these are color coded, 1, 2, 3, right? Yes. Go back. 1, 2, 3. Nice. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Okay, so that's all the record stuff. Now we just need to add the keyboard. So we'll click up here, interface modules. We'll go to Midi note in, Midi notes in. Leave the Midi channel 1. That's fine for right now. And we're going to set this to 4 outputs because we have 4 samplers. And then for priority, I've found that using the round robin tends to work. There's still some bugs with this, and sometimes it just kind of freaks out. But the round robin seems to work pretty well. Okay, so you can see when I press these keys here, you see how we have, what is this, 8? Yeah, 8 buttons here. So the ones that stay lit up, those are going to be the pitch information. And then the ones that are just on and off are just the gates. And you can see because this is round robin, that means it's just switching to the next note every time there's a new press on the keyboard. So these pitches, you see the Midi notes in, that's the note out. So that is the pitch of the note. That needs to go to, just back here, that needs to go to the pitch, or in this case, it's the semitones. And this is 5 in, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so if we go here, we're clicked on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. And then this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll go this one. See, it gets confusing sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then this one, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we should, I think that should be it, right? So if we go do... the gate. Yeah, I spoke too soon. I knew I was forgetting something. So the gate needs to go to the 4th in on the sampler, and that is the sample playback. So the nice thing here is that, and this is what I was kind of trying to demonstrate, if you go way up on the octave on your keyboard, whatever your keyboard is that you're using for this, and just hit 4 notes, then it kind of keeps these, because these are the pitches right here, right? So it kind of keeps those like highlighted, whereas if we go way down an octave, see, it just kind of ends up turning into the same color. So it just makes it a little bit easier as you're patching stuff to know that, okay, the first, these are the pitches and these are the gates. Okay, so let's go back here, and then 1, 2, 3, so it's going to be 4 in. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the gate. That's the gate. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can hear it's already doing stuff. So that one, yeah. See, it's tricky, man. So we got that last gate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that should be it. So we go do. It works. So let's go back to this page and let's go back to that bit crusher. So like I said, I'm just using this bit crusher as sort of like a lo-fi sort of thing. So as we kind of crank this up, you can start to hear we get that noise. And it sounds crunchy, and we can go way. And this is why you have the expression pedal there to basically stop that sound. Yeah, and you could do like full things. You're gonna go, hey, whoa, that's really cool.
Hey, whoa, hey, whoa, that's...
Hey, whoa, that's really cool. Hey,
whoa, that...
I'm curious to see other people, if you own a Zoia and that's how you found this video and you find this interesting, please share with me in the comments kind of what you're cooking up with this. And what sort of changes you would make to a patch like this to make it more like an instant sampler, more like an SK-1. I'm sure there's some other things that could be added into this, but for me, it's just been so fun to have something that you can just instantly record something into and then play back. I think it's so much fun. And we didn't even add any reverb or anything to this. I think that's where this also just becomes a super fun, creative tool. So look forward to using this in more videos. If you want to support me, please consider becoming a patron or go to funthingsfunlife.com and check out what I'm offering in terms of one-on-one Ableton lessons. And thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.